And we welcome you back to Talk of the Town for this Thursday, June 25th. I'm Gary Stevens. Open line with Peg tomorrow after the 10 o'clock news block. But on this fourth Thursday of the month, we set aside our 10:30 segment for an update from the Fillmore Street Complex. That, of course, is where the Ottawa County Administrative Offices are. And we have two Ottawa County Commissioners joining us, Joe Baumann and Al Dannenberg, in our Zoom connection. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to Talk of the Town to both of you.
Good morning,
Gary.
Good
morning, Gary.
Glad you are with us. And if you wish to ask the gentleman a question, you may do so via the traditional way, 395-1450, 395-1450. Hate to say, are you getting comfortable with the new normal about remote meetings?
No.
And all that?
No, I don't like them. But
I agree with Al. I'm ready for Zoom to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it does allow, at least people who can't make it to the Ottawa County Fillmore Street Complex, the administration building, to be able to monitor things going along. Hopefully, well, maybe in July it could open, but then again, you heard from CBS, maybe not. It's hard to say.
I don't see it happening. My only issue with Zoom is when we as commissioners are discussing something, it's nice to see someone's face of what they're trying to explain. It doesn't come off very well through Zoom, but in person it does. So it's easier discussing something. That's where I like it better.
Yeah, well, at least we're talking in this particular situation through this technology. Let's get to the sticky wicket first of all, and I'm going to basically quote what Shannon Fellner from the office did pass along: diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm not certain if it was a resolution made or something along those lines. Joe or Al, either one of you want to pick up the ball on this?
Well, our board chair did read a letter that he presented to the board meeting before last. We've taken this issue seriously for quite a while now, and last year we did implement the DEI department with Robin Afric, and she's doing a great job. I just I'm not agreeing with everything that has been said in the news. I'm very disappointed in the officer in Minneapolis with the Floyd case. But I feel our deputies in Ottawa County are above that. They've gone through a lot of training and they're doing a great job. And I just feel bad that all law enforcement is painted with a wide brush for a handful of bad eggs.
Al?
Yes, Tuesday they had a more or less for the staff and the employees of Ottawa County. They called it a brown bag luncheon thing. And Steve Kempker, the sheriff, talked a long time. And I'm happy. I'm very happy. We got work to do. Steve said that too. We both got a lot of work to do, and so do we in the county with diversity and equity and inclusion. We are not there yet, but we got some things in place way beyond some of the other ones. And I agree with Joe. That officer in Minneapolis would have been fired in Ottawa County long ago. He would have never got that far. But we got to have more acceptance instead of labeling people right away. We got to look at them as God's creatures, really, instead of anything else. But
it seems as if right now it's not an easy time to govern, not only because of the COVID-19 situation, but also because of the race relations situations. Almost as if, hate to say it, but those in elected offices are in a no-win position right now. Whatever they do is going to be under some fire and under some criticism. Granted, that's part of the job description, unfortunately, when you want to take the office of a commissioner. In your cases, Al Dannenberg and Joe Baumann, but it's a little bit more acute in my observation than it is right now because of maybe the double whammy we're going through.
Yeah, it is a double whammy with it, the virus. But that George Floyd incident, that opened up a lot of eyes. And I think we all are, as Steve and Al Dannenberg, the administrator, said Tuesday too, we all got to keep looking at how we can do it better. But we also need the citizens of Ottawa County to give us feedback too.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for Ottawa County Commissioners Joe Baumann and Al Dannenberg. Overshadowed a little bit because of the double whammy and what I could have just referred to a little bit earlier is the importance of the year 2020. Every 10 years, we're asked to fill out the form for the census. They say 10 minutes can mean 10 years of benefits for our community and all that. But I would think, and just my guess is that this county is pretty good about following through on this commitment to do their, it's like jury duty. It's a civic duty. We got 10 years to do it. We got to, might as well fulfill our civic duty in that regard. I assume you guys are hopeful that we would have a pretty good percentage of people filling out those census forms.
Go ahead.
98% would be good, but we're at 76 right now. That's not good. So go ahead, Joe.
With technology today, there's really no excuse to not fill it out. I know I got mine early on and went online and finished it up in, I think it was less than 10 minutes, but
lickety split.
It really wasn't very painful. And people don't have to worry about the ramification, shall we say, of them filling the form out that the government's going to come after them or anything like that. It's strictly just for information, and a lot of, I think just about all social programs are funded by what the census says. And, so we do depend on our residents to fill out the census, because in the end, it will help the county. In turn, we'll be able to help the residents. So if you haven't done it yet, do it.
And, the thing is, the Census Bureau doesn't just work every 10 years. I mean, they're working all the time. And Ottawa County continues to grow. We're the fastest growing county in the state over the past decade and the 8th most populous overall. And let's put it this way, there's some good things to growth, maybe not so good because we're developing some of the lands, but yet still you have a lot of people. It helps the tax base, but it really helps, really a quality of life.
My address changed to my house because of some building around in R-Zeeland here. So we did not get a form in the mail. We didn't get it. So I went online. My wife didn't have to, as long as you filled out how many people are living there, the names and stuff like that. And it really went quite simple. I'd say 5 or 10 minutes and it was all done. So I'm hoping people, if you can't find the form anymore, go online, get it done, help your county, your city, your municipality out by filling that out. So.
And hopefully, granted, this is the nose count to determine population, and there's some other things the Census Bureau does, maybe during the off years to sort of figure out some of the demographics of a community, be it its makeup, or to a certain extent, if you have a certain amount of residents, say, that live in Ottawa County, but they're going into Kent County, they did that determination a few years ago and knocked Holland and Grand Haven out of its own separate market and lumped us in with Grand Rapids. And it's, when you want to try to figure out how we're doing here, you got to go and look to Grand Rapids. Phooey balooey.
Well, and unfortunately, when Governor Snyder a few years ago regionalized things, yeah, we did get lumped in with Kent County, and it's not always a good thing.
I'm not saying anything bad about Kent County, but we are distinct here because we have distinct things here that they don't have to worry about in GR. But anyway, let's get to a call. 395-1450. Good morning. You're on the line with the Ottawa County Commissioners.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Stevens. Good morning, Mr. Baumann. Good morning, Mr. Dannenberg. Thank you for your service for our great county. I'm concerned about the mental health here in Ottawa County. It's kind of outdated. They are involved in what's called psychopharmacology, or testing drugs in human beings. Modern people are into nutrition and so forth, and healthology and that kind of thing. I think you should look into changing the mental health and stop testing drugs on human beings. Thank you.
Appreciate the call. 395-1450. 395-1450 if you have a question for the Ottawa County Commissioners. Let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, COVID-19. It's there.
I hope it's not in your room there.
No. Let's put it this way. We've talked about herd immunity, and that we can go all about that. But there's a dashboard on the website to talk about COVID-19 and its impact, and that certainly has been helpful. Maybe as leaders, you guys are, but really to the residents overall.
Right. The dashboard is, I looked at it last night again. I usually will look at it every couple of days just to see once where we are. And I think we're definitely seeing a decrease in cases. Roughly speaking, I think we have about 200 active cases right now. We're at, this was as of yesterday, I believe we were at 989 total COVID cases, but we've got 780 that have recovered. Unfortunately, we have had 51 deaths in the county. And from what it sounds like from the health department is that the vast majority of those were elderly and had other health issues. So, our thoughts and prayers do go out to those families as well. But it does, knock on wood, it looks like we are on the decrease, and things seem to be leveling off on that decrease.
Yeah, I can say that for us in Ottawa County. I think Michigan is too, but I see the governor put the brakes back on for the gyms. They were supposed to open today, and they're not going to open today. I guess I can understand some of that. Some of it I struggle with, what they can open and what you can. I don't want anybody to get it. I just think that people just got to probably wear a mask at certain times and wash their hands and don't touch their face. Might help us all a lot. So.
And of course, part of what is dialing back is that many Ottawa County offices have reopened, limited times, limited availabilities, and certainly the precautions we are in right now with health and safety. But at least you can be able to go face to face with some of the people that if you want to get a license or you want to get some registration or some county business transact, you can do it in person now instead of just having to do everything online.
Right. I guess I would suggest if you can to conduct business online. It's quicker, it's easier. But if you do need to come to one of the county buildings, the offices are open. We're asking that you do wear a mask, and we do have hand sanitizer when you walk through the door. And I believe some of the departments are still requiring appointments. So if you are going to come and visit one of the departments, whether it's the clerk or the parks or the treasurer, I would call first and check to see if they are taking appointments or if you can just walk in.
All right, gentlemen, let me get to a call real quick. Good morning. You're on the line with Commissioners Baumann and Dannenberg.
Yeah, how you doing? Maybe somebody could clear something up for me. I read in the paper that those two people that drowned at the state park ignored the red flag.
Then I read that the red flag wasn't flying because of COVID-19. Is that true?
Let me answer that right now. Actually, let me throw it into the newsroom. Appreciate the call, Peg.
That was just that Sunday where 2 people drowned. That was before they were putting red flags on the beach. There was a red flag at the gate that was up. And at the time, they didn't have enough state park workers to put the flags out on the beach. After those 2 drownings, they've been putting the flags directly on the beach.
And of course, in the red flag situation from this past weekend with the rescue of the aunt and the 2 youngsters, the red flag was flying in that situation.
Yeah, the red flags were on the actual beach.
Yeah, so that's so 2 separate incidents, and that's also a state park situation. It's not a county park situation, whereas in gentlemen, the county park situations, be it North Beach, which is my favorite, or be it Tunnel Park or some of the other county parks, you guys have to be, I'm saying the county in that regard, has to be aware of the situation as well.
Yeah, the state park does, and I'm not a expert at this riptides or anything, but the piers do cause some of that added riptide to the areas. And most of the time, not all of them, but so many people that have drowned have been outside of the area, not used to Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is not like an inland lake at all.
No,
it is dangerous at times. So
we're well aware of that, and unfortunately, sometimes it's out of the area, but sometimes it's newcomers to our area, and we've been talking. If you guys have been listening to me, I mean, we're talking to the choir here about the risks of the lake, and unfortunately, some of the people that have issues are not listening to us here on WHTC.
Well, and a lot of times it's just common sense. I mean, you're out walking on the pier, and now with the high water levels, I mean, 2-foot waves will wash over the pier now. And so if you're running 6-8 footers out on the lake, you don't belong on the pier.
Yeah. And back on WHTC's Talk of the Town with Al Dannenberg and Joe Baumann, the Ottawa County Commissioners. Did a caller have the last word for the day? Good morning. You're on the line with the Commissioners.
Great. Hey, I'd like to go back to the state park issue with it being a state issue with, I think that there should be an Ottawa County deputy out there at all times, just so that it can be a rescue and not a recovery. And the state parks in Ottawa County, when there's issues, Ottawa County doesn't have a problem going in there. I don't see the state police in there. So why is it always pushed off onto the state when it's a hard question to answer? But when there's an issue, Ottawa County has no problem getting in there and taking care of it. Why can't we, Ottawa County, station a deputy out there? And I don't believe that the money is the issue. Ottawa County is wealthy enough to put someone out there. Yeah. So can you answer that, please?
Well, we have a few moments real quick, gentlemen. Can you do it, or we're going to have to hold that till next month?
It's a state park. I mean, yeah, we go in there. You got a good point, sir. But it's never quite as easy as that, as putting somebody else out there all the time. So,
all right, gentlemen, we're out of time. Joe Baumann, Al Dannenberg, I want to thank you very much for joining us today on WHTC's Talk of the Town. Wish you well. Look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you very much. That is Talk of the Town with Ottawa County Commissioners Al Dannenberg and Joe Baumann. Coming up, it is CBS News at the top of the hour, followed by Wellspring from Spectrum Health, Zeeland Community Hospital.